day, every
What
day.
is going on, everybody?
Every
Depraved Slasher
day.
here. We are here with
Pounds and Slasher.
Slash. This is the Marvel Media Podcast.
Fucking,
I'm
let's
Depraved. Ralph won't shut the fuck up, but we're good.
Because we in this bitch.
So this, this is probably not going to be a super long episode. We're just covering, the new Eternals movie that just came out.
Hell yeah.
Which we may or may not have went to theater to see.
Shit, I saw everything in theaters. I see everything in theaters, man.
Right?
Right. All the time.
So, here's the thing. We are not going to agree with most reviewers.
No.
Believe it or not.
Mm-mm.
We actually enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, the one thing I did not have prepared was to have the stupid fucking
Tier list?
No, I have that up. The thing. Okay.
I mean, it's besides the obvious. I didn't see what was really wrong with this movie actually. Besides like the obvious, without sounding too out there, like with the same-sex marriage and all
that wasn't anything wrong.
No, I know. I said besides that was why people hated it. I was just like, why people hated it, but why they didn't like it.
So I'm going to let you know now, for those of you that hated the movie because of any of the same-sex scenes, all two of them that were a total of
only 2 scenes.
Maybe 10 minutes of the entire 2-hour movie.
Right.
If you were one of those kind of people, you should probably unsubscribe and never come to my channel again.
Right, for real. 'Cause that's like, I never understood that. Like when you told me that, I was like, wait.
They didn't even put real focus on it. Like, that was one of the things I read in somebody's review. Oh, the focus on the same-sex.
They focus more on the sex scene of the of Icarus and the one chick. They had a sex scene in there. I was like, damn, like they really get into it. But that's the point.
I was like, they were like, oh no, we seen 2 men kissing.
Right,
Somebody.
That was it. It looked like they were just hugging, like they hugged, and that was it. That's it. Moving on. Like that's really what it was. That's it.
But no. So just straight out the gate. This is going to be spoiler territory. Go watch the movie. That is the only review you're going to get. You should not trust other people's review scores anyways.
Right.
You should go watch the movie and then see how other people think in the same terms you do.
Right.
Or if they don't. That's what I do.
Because some people may like Venom 2, and I hated fucking Venom 2.
Yeah, you just leave Venom 2 alone. It's dead. Movie's over. All right. So we're here to talk about the Eternals.
A one that's better than Venom 2. That's it.
So just straight out the gate, we're going to talk about the story. And I feel like the story does a really good job of pushing the MCU forward.
Right. It was long as shit, but yeah, it told the story.
We're not here to talk about the length of the movie.
No,
you can do that in the roundup at the end. But it did a really good job of pushing the story forward.
Yeah.
First off, we get an introduction to all the characters, and we get to know quite a bit about all of them, which I feel is very important in story building. And straight out the gate, my favorite character is Gilgamesh, rest in peace. And
his power is like...
His power was one of my favorites as well. I mean, they all had really cool powers.
His was like throw hands. He chose violence with his power.
Everyone's power was really cool except for Icarus, because Icarus was basically a Superman clone.
Yeah. He's like Hyperion and all that. Yeah, that's really what he is.
Oh, dude. Like, so much happened in this movie. Like, so... The Celestials, you find out, so basically the whole plot of what the villains are trying to do, and the villains really aren't villains, they kind of just believe in their own thing.
Well, yeah, like, and this first time I'm thinking,
it's the Celestials, and what they do is they basically put, they impregnate planets.
Right. This is based off the comics, like when...
With other Celestials.
With other Celestials, yep.
And after so many people are on that planet, and they have like a certain quota of people to meet,
like Amazon,
the Celestial's able to be born.
Yo. And
when it does, it destroys the planet in the process, but they gain energy when they do that to create thousands of other solar systems. So the death of one planet gives birth to many more.
Right.
And they feel what they're doing is right because they're expanding life throughout the universe.
Right.
At the expense of like a planet here, a planet there. It just so happens to be that Earth is their next planet to do this on.
And it was the girl's first mission. She said, "That's my first mission." Like, hold on, what?
And basically what they do is when they impregnate these planets, they first send the deviants out. And the deviants are like these creatures that look kind of like Venom, but not really.
Right.
They send all these deviants out to basically kill off the animal wildlife that is dangerous. So like we got to see them take out dinosaurs and shit like that.
Right.
And then
like they were the meteors that were coming down from the prehistoric age. Right.
And then once they kind of overrun and take over the planet, then they send the Eternals, and we also find out Eternals in the MCU are kind of like robot people. They send the Eternals down to take out the Deviants.
Right. So they can start.
And at that point, they're supposed to basically stay out of everything. They let humanity evolve as humanity, or whatever planet they're on, whatever they call themselves. But they let life live on as it should. They're not to interfere in any way, shape, or form.
I said, damn, they like mini watchers. Like, what is this? Which
is why they explain why they didn't get involved in the Thanos fight, because they were told not to.
Right.
Now, the team leader from the beginning of the movie, Ajax, she ends up dying at some point. And then she gives her power to, I don't remember the main female's name. I'm sorry. There were so many people in this damn movie. It's hard to remember everybody's
All I know
name.
is Gilgamesh should have been given that. Now let me see.
Actually, if we're going to be a good podcast, I should probably go ahead and bring up the fucking. I should probably. Okay. So she plays Cersei. Cersei ends up taking over as the head person, and she's able. And so Ajax had this orb that allowed her to speak with. What was the main dude's name? I had his name down.
Was it Amish?
It was Aerith or something like that.
Right.
I don't remember.
But he was like the head. He's the head celestial person. She goes.
Yeah, he's the main celestial.
The main celestial. There's multiple, but he's like the main one that they contact with.
I want to say his name was Aerith. I could be wrong though.
I thought it was like Almish. I thought it was like an ish behind that.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure shit out here. We know Ego's a celestial.
Yeah, Ego's a celestial. Yep.
Arishem.
I know. Yeah.
Arishem is his name. All right. So, anyways, people are gonna be like, "Man, that took a really long time." I am so sorry.
Describing all.
So as I was saying, she's able to talk to Arishem,
right?
Who is the one that is planning all this? Now, none of the Eternals know. At least you think none of the Eternals know what their purpose is there. They all think that they're basically there just to see how humanity evolves.
Right. Because he tells us, Salma Hayek's character, and she's like, well, what about it? He said, don't question my authority. I said, damn, all right, that's it. That means you know your place.
But Ajax knew.
Right, Ajax knew, well, yeah.
And Ajax had decided that she was not cool with this.
Right.
So she was going to stand up against Arishem by destroying this, basically killing off the celestial that's growing inside Earth, because she fell in love with the human race. And then that's when we find out, as the movie goes on,
bro, you
fake, dollar store fucking wish Superman over here,
bro. I saw it when
Icarus.
We watched this. I saw Nick's face because he's like, you said Icarus, he's the one you want to go get. I said, bro, that face though, that face looks like he has killed at least 3 or 4 Eternals, bro. And then he shook his head when it finally happened. He's like, motherfucker.
So the main reason I was surprised was because he's not who the villain. Like, who the first person to become the villain in the comics was out of all the Eternals. It was the mind control dude.
The mind control dude. The bow cut, yeah.
I
mean, I knew he was a dick, but I didn't think he was more... I mean, until you told me this, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's him. But I think it was Druig. But before you told me that, I said, it has to be... I don't know. It's one of them hunches. It's like... You look at him, it's like, bro, like, he's setting up some shit. Because everybody's asking, how come you're not the leader? They're like, oh, no, she's the leader. I'm like, that's because he wants to take the power to be the leader, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like that in the movie, but
you know, he wants to be the leader.
He wants, and that's the problem.
And because he even said he could be the leader of the Avengers, and no, you couldn't, because you're a right twat.
Right, because you're fucking crazy. Oh shit.
But nah, so he ends up being the villain.
Right.
And this
shit.
huge fight breaks out between all of them.
He'll kill all of them.
Gilgamesh ended up dying at some point a little bit earlier in the movie. We kind of skipped over that, which sucked because like he was my favorite character because he was funny.
Right.
He was...
His power was off the wall. His power was like just straight up punching. That's it. Straight up, like he woke up and chose violence. And I still say, even though it probably happened, I still think that, I still think Icarus could have came down there and saved him though. But I mean, I guess he was somewhere else. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's ways Gilgamesh probably could have lived through this if Icarus could have like saved him or something. He's the only that knew how to fly and had that dollar store power as Superman did. But it is what it is on that part. So he just looked like he was doing stuff like behind the scenes and whatnot. That's why. But
right. Give me 1 second. I need to see something.
What?
Because I think you were wrong about something, but I want to check first. Why did you... There you go.
About what?
You were wrong.
What was it?
I told you that they probably killed off Gilgamesh because they didn't want somebody that looks like Wong in the movies. And you're like, it's the same actor. And it's not.
It's not him?
No.
Wow, I am...
The guy that plays Gilgamesh is Don Lee. Congrats on your performing a racism.
Right. God damn. Listen here, black man in the elevator.
Is Don Lee, and Benedict Wong is the guy that plays Wong.
Listen here. There, not about to do a black man in the elevator. Listen here, we're not doing this. No,
Just saying.
I know you just... About that shit.
No, him and Wong as characters do look very similar, though.
Oh, shit.
And honestly, kind of almost have the same power.
Right, because they both have the same power.
Well, Wong's is magic.
Magic, but his is straight up just... Well,
and Gilgamesh's is something else.
Eternal. Right, they never really explained that shit.
Special powers.
MacGuffin powers.
But no, so they killed off Gilgamesh pretty early. Well, not they killed off Gilgamesh about halfway through the movie.
Right.
And it sucked because again, he was my favorite character. He was funny.
And
he had really good jokes. He almost seemed like he was the heart of the team in terms of just being like, yeah, let's woo.
He was keeping Angelina Jolie's character at bay because he was one that Ajax. He said, "I'll watch over her because she's gonna have a mental Winter Soldier breakdown moment." Athena. Not Athena.
Yeah, it's just Athena.
Athena, right? Because she said drop the A.
Which everybody thought she was going to die early on because they didn't show her much in the fucking...
And I read that in the news at one point. I remember we talked about that in the podcast. I was like, well, they're not showing too much of her. And I said, well, she's probably going to die on too. And I even said, if she dies, it's Icarus. He's involved in this death, bro. Oh, shit. Oh, man. He only gets involved in one death.
And if anything, Angelina Jolie's character, Athena, kind of saves the day.
Yes, she does.
Which was dope as fuck.
Yes, she does.
The way she did it, too.
She stalled for time and everything.
She pretended that she was dying, and then she fucking pulled out her swords and chopped the dude.
Man,
and
she did a pizza
slice
on him.
She fucking Ginsu'd that motherfucker.
Right.
Anyways, so they win. And the way it ends up happening is so old dude Icarus goes to confront Cersei, who's in the process of trying to turn.
And I thought he was going to blast
the Titan or the Celestial into
like frozen stone. Oh, I thought it was like ice. Or
it was stone.
Okay.
And
I thought he was going to blast the shit out of her. I was ready for that death blow.
And he shows up and he kind of realizes he fucked up.
Right. Because he showed a cry, but I thought the cry was going to go back and he's going to give her that eye beam right to like the chest. Bro. I was like, well, that's it for you.
And he feels bad and he lands and they make eye contact and she stops what she's doing for a second and he starts remembering all of the good times they had. Because they had gotten married, shared, exquisite food from different cultures. And Cersei was
just going to let it happen because Cersei's like, I can't beat this person. Like, she just closed out and said, well, if you blast me, this is it.
And he basically falls down to his knees in tears
right.
and lets her continue what she's doing. She ends up turning the thing into stone, and he says, I'm sorry, and then flies into the sun because, unsubscribing from life is a good answer to just being a fuck up. I mean, he could have, maybe
we
just
should put that as a T-shirt.
Maybe
he unsubscribe from life. That's
maybe
it.
just change your ways. That's a possibility.
I think they would have killed. I wouldn't say go to the sun. I would thought he just would have left the solar system or left Earth.
I kind of wish he'd have taken Sprite with him because I don't even like her as a character.
Right, Sprite was a stupid person. I don't understand. Like I want to be human.
She's like, I want the humans to die because I can't be like them. I can't get older. I can't.
You are immortal. What are you talking? What?
You're both thousands of years old. If dude loved you, y'all could still be together. It's not like he's breaking some rules.
Right. What the hell is this shit?
Y'all are robots any fucking ways.
Robots in disguise. y'all Blade Runner, man. That's what y'all are.
And then it ends with Cersei being able to turn Sprite into an actual human.
Sure. Because I guess that's what she wanted. That's what she wanted.
Kingo, homie.
Kingo dipped. Yo, and you thought she was going to come in the final part?
He says, I agree with what the Celestials are doing.
I'm not going to fight you.
I can't take place in this fight. And he legit disappears until the very end of the movie.
The very end.
He doesn't fight. He doesn't do nothing. You see him because he basically becomes like the stepdad of Sprite.
Right. But he doesn't come back. And we all, I was like, okay, he'll come back. Like,
I thought he was going to come back and like have a change of heart and come help. Nah, he ain't do shit.
Right. I thought he was going to shoot.
I don't even want him in another movie. Not the actor. Yes, the actor was fine.
Yeah, no.
I just don't want that character.
Just that character.
In another movie. He can go to hell.
Cause I thought he was going to blast. I thought he was going to blast Icarus with the Kamehameha. Cause I thought like, well, this is about to end bad.
Yeah, he's like an anime character, by the way.
Bro,
so he was doing like
spirit gun.
He was doing like Kamehamehas. He did a special beam cannon move.
He did the spirit gun.
He was throwing some fireballs like he was goddamn Daalism. Yoga flame, yoga fire. Like, shit was just wild.
He's like, all right, I need some charge. Got him. Like, what the what? Like, what type
he
of
did this
shit?
like crazy slide move where after he charges up, he runs and he slides underneath this monster and he's laying down and he's face to face with the monster and he blows his head up and it fucking explodes. Dude, it was fucking cool. So the next time y'all try to tell me that zombies can't eat people in cartoon form when I see monsters with their heads being blown off, I'm calling your bluff, Disney.
Call your bluff.
I'm calling your fucking bluff.
That means we're gonna do more shit like this. Nah, like, it has some moments. It's just I wish he did show up, but he didn't show up no more. I was like, well, damn.
He didn't show up, and then that's pretty much the end of the story. Like,
I thought Sprite was gonna kill Cersei. I said, damn, she stabbed the shit out of him.
What is his name? Festus.
Yeah, Festus. Yeah.
He gets back with his husband.
Right.
They're able to raise their family, and then everyone else flies off to try and honestly find other Eternals to try and talk them into killing off the.
Because they really are trying to take out.
Unless. So here's the thing: they're probably looking for people who do love the people that they're with, but they just want the other Eternals to know, hey, this is what's happening.
Right.
If this is something you're cool with, cool. That's your guys' call. It's your planet. But at the same time, like,
Then it didn't even end. It's like, bro, he came out of nowhere and snatched them.
Yeah. So then at the very end, Cersei and
Black Knight's like, where are you going?
Black Knight.
Bro, they dipped.
Draco, I think was his name.
Yeah.
The two of them are walking, and he's like, you know how I said there were no more secrets? And she's like, I told you all mine. He's like, yeah, well, I kind of have one.
Right.
He says, so my family has a complicated history.
Right.
And then all of a sudden...
Here comes the Celestial coming out of nowhere like a bad father.
All of a sudden, Arishem shows up.
And snatches him.
And
I thought he was going to kill him right there.
Like, parts the clouds, reaches out,
bro,
grabs...
he parked the Red Sea like Moses, bro.
Grabs Cersei, and he also grabs...
all of He grabbed, like, Sprite... Kid,
I didn't remember seeing Sprite because I thought Sprite was
right next door, right next to Cersei. Oh. Yeah, but he snatched them up, and I was like, "Well, they're about to die." Because what?
And he basically tells them, he's like, you decided to stop the Celestial from being born. He says, so now I'm going to look through your memories and see if these people have a right to live.
Oh God. It's going to go back to Ultron was right because they really have no right to live. Oh no. Oh,
now,
no, this is why Thanos was right. This is why Ultron was right.
That's how the main movie ended.
Oh, Lord.
Now we got to kind of talk about the post-credit scenes. So, one of the post-credit scenes, because I don't know what order they were in, one of the post-credit scenes shows the Black Knight going up to this sword that's laying there.
And before he opens it, it says, like, I think it said, like, the sweet grace of death. So whoever had it just wanted to die.
And
it's a bad.
It's
bad
the
sword.
Ebony Blade. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Ebony.
Or the Dark Blade.
Dark
something
Blade.
Like that.
It's weird.
Ebony
It's a weird
swords.
looking blade. How
yeah.
they edit that shit too.
But it's like you hear whispers, and then you actually hear Blade, which a lot of people didn't know it was Blade.
Right.
The only reason I knew is because one of the cast members actually confirmed it was Blade's voice.
Oh shit. Okay.
At least that's what I'm pretty sure I read.
Right.
So
and the sword itself was all liquidy too, like all symbiote, like a really like it's like its own symbiote, like or alive and weird, like. But yeah.
but you hear him say, "Are you sure that's something that you're ready for?" Which kind of is hinting at like I would love to see Black Knight and Blade team up to take out vampires.
Which they hinted at. They hinted at a couple
maybe
times.
if we're really lucky, they can get Elsa Bloodstone involved too, because I love that character.
Well, they hinted
She's
it
awesome.
in Loki. They said werewolves, vampires, and then of course in here in the movie they said he tried to stab me in the heart. And I'm like, because he kept living.
And then the second cut scene or the second post credit scene. What was in the other one?
This one was Angelina Jolie's character, Athena,
Oh, yeah.
and the death.
The
first death MCU character.
This was like the more important one. Not that the Black Knight one ain't exciting because
it's Blade.
It's Blade.
Right.
But the other one was so the rest of the Eternals that weren't taken by, or that actually had already flown off in their ship.
Right, because I'm trying to think. I thought they were all. I thought he like snapped. Okay, so he only snatched the ones that he saw
on Earth.
Okay, so okay. I thought he just because he grabbed them. I was like, damn, like they just picked them like out of the sky.
But they were flying, and then all of a sudden, this weird character, which I think was
like Pig?
Somebody revealed his name was Pip.
Pip, I thought it was Pip. Pip, yeah.
Who is an actual comic character,
right?
Not necessarily used in the way that
like
they're using him, but
like a goblin.
But he's being played by Patton Oswalt.
Hey, Patton Oswalt's back.
And by the way, Mr. Screen Crush guy, Patton Oswalt has actually been in a Marvel movie or Marvel property as in a live action film.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He played those multiple dudes. He said, "Hey, Patty."
And originally, when he showed up, it was still considered canon.
Right at the time when this shit before all of this, this whole series was canon. Yeah.
So he shows up as Pip the troll, Pip the goblin, or whatever the fuck he is, and announces Eros.
Right. He said, "Here's the God Star," and they're giving him hints and names.
And Eros is actually the brother of Thanos.
Right. He said, "Brother Thanos." Yep.
And he says, "Your friends are in danger, and I know how to find him." And then he holds up one of the orbs that's in the girl had in her chest.
Right.
But he held up his own, and that's kind of hinting at what the next movie is going to be about. So it's really cool to see them bringing more of the characters in. I am excited for another movie. I hope one gets made because this got shit on, and I feel like it was unnecessarily shit on. Like, I thought it was actually a really good movie. Was it perfect? No.
But I didn't see really. I mean,
but I didn't see too much negative.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of flaws in this. Trust me, someone was like, "Yo."
Even the talking parts, a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, there was a lot of talking in it."
It's a lot of talking, but not.
It's character building.
It's character building. That's a personal gripe that I didn't like from it. But other than that,
it had a lot of action too.
Bro, that action was on point.
It started off with a dope fucking fighting cutscene.
Because first of all, the fisherman, he gets eaten, and then they just went right to fight, and I'm like, okay, damn. And then money shot. They all went to a stand. They were standing there. They said money shot. I was like, there it is. The stand, that little stand pose, strike a pose.
So over and above all, I'm gonna give the story an 8 out of 10.
Oh, yeah,
just
8.
The story.
Yeah, I'll give it 8 for the story. What about the acting?
We're not there yet.
Damn it.
We're moving we're moving right along.
Once again, guys, I like to let you know every time I come on this camera, I jump through shit. Like
he tries to run ahead of the game.
Motherfucker.
So acting wise, I actually thought the acting was fantastic. I don't think there was any one person that was terrible in their roles. Even the chick that played Sprite, she played her to the annoying level that she was supposed to be played.
Right, the little snarl, little smart remarks. Even when he said that little sarcasm.
We also had the first ever deaf superhero in an MCU movie, and she did really well. All of them did a fantastic job. My only complaint, acting wise, is the guy that plays
Druid?
Black Knight.
The dude from Game of Thrones.
Understand this, and I only say
He's
this.
not even in it for that long. He's like 3 seconds.
Right. Well, he's in it for a total of like 10 minutes. And again, this is a very minor complaint. He just feels out of place with the rest of the cast. He's a very medievalish actor. That's what he's been placed in Game of Thrones. So
in fact, both of them, Ygritte and them, been in Game of Thrones, right?
But he still kind of has that mentality, and it's I don't know. It didn't quite feel right for me. It wasn't terrible.
I didn't even know he existed.
I'm not saying he.
You point out, oh, there he is. Oh,
I'm not saying it was shitty.
No.
I'm just it felt out of place.
Because like he did his part, did his role. I you know what? It was weird. And the parts that he wasn't, I just didn't care for. Like I didn't care for. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Back to the action. Let's go.
You're a typical Marvel fan. So,
thank you.
The acting I'd give a 9.
Yeah,
I thought the acting was pretty solid.
Yeah, I give it 9 as well.
Even Angelina Jolie, you'd think like I swear to God, dude, with as old as she is, she still looks amazing.
Yeah, she keeps. She works out,
and she can still get up and go. Like she's fire.
Still moving. Yeah, she's moving.
She's fire.
I gotta give it to her. Yeah, and fighting Icarus of all people, I gotta give it to her. Even though I thought she was going to die on that ship, but that's the point.
And honestly, even all the other roles from all the other Eternals that were involved, even Wish Superman.
Well, he played his role as the bodyguard / betrayer / everything. He was a ride or die.
He did great too.
He was ride or die for Celestials. He was ride or die. And that was it.
Next up is special effects. Here's my thing.
They're okay.
Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. The special effects were not absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so they were okay.
They weren't bad.
They weren't like.
But y'all motherfuckers had 2 years. This should have been the most amazing looking movie out of all of them. Shang-Chi got y'all beat.
Yeah.
Bad.
By a furry Karibo from Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever that thing is, that beat the whole special.
Now, and again, I'm not saying that the special effects look shitty. They did not. They still look good.
No.
They still look good.
Okay, now were they perfect? Hell no, but they were okay.
But they just were not up to the standard that I was expecting after having 2 years to work on them.
2 years to work on it, right?
So I mean that I'm going to give a 7.
Damn, bro, we are really thinking. I was gonna say a 7. That's why I was gonna give it a 7 too, because they weren't
up to the quality they should have been.
Right, and you had all this time because you've been pushing it back. Remember, we did pop. That was like our first 10 podcasts. Well, the Eternals are being pushed back, so we were thinking like this is supposed to be like Steven Spielberg quality, and the special effects was like Michael Bay quality, which is fine.
Right,
I like Michael Bay shit.
The fight scenes were actually really well done.
Yep.
They had funny moments, dude. Like. Okay.
Pew Pew Fingers made it awesome.
Pew Pew Fingers, Punchy Face.
Punchy Face and Pew Pew Fingers, that's it. I mean, it was cool.
One of my favorite parts, though, was like, so this pterodactyl-looking fucking creature. It was one of the deviants.
Yeah, they're the one in the village.
Comes and snatches.
Dude.
You said Wish Superman out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, congratulations. You took the one dude that can fly. Like, even if you were to drop him to try and kill him,
he will literally levitate.
He's just gonna fucking fly and chase you.
Bye,
like, you have no awareness of your fucking situation.
You're
a bad villain. Speaking of villains, I didn't say this, and then, honestly, he didn't look that great. His special effects looked funky. Yeah. But the main deviant, which I don't even know if he had a name.
Yeah, he's just the guy that sucked up.
But he was absorbing people and was
Eternals, right.
Fucking fire, honestly. He was a good villain, just rendered not so well.
Right.
Again, 2 years. 2 years.
You sat here.
He should have honestly probably been done by practical effects because the special effects you guys used on him made him look dumb.
Horrendous, yeah.
He basically looked like Ultron with tentacles.
Or Venom, or Abomination. He really looked like Abomination. Well, either Ultron, or tentacles or all that. He looked like Abomination, dude. Like a very tall Abomination version of him,
But yeah, the fighting I'm going to give probably a 9.
Yeah, I give it a 9. Yeah, I mean, it was right to the point.
It wasn't quite as good to me as, like, the fighting in Shang-Chi.
No, that was just straight up hand-to-hand. Just, like... I mean, they did a lot of flying and swooping and pew-pew action, but... I mean, besides Gilgamesh, he was the only one that actually threw the hands as much.
Right. And I guess that brings us to, at the end, our overall rating. Now, I'm going to go through some pluses and negatives here. So... First off, this is good. This is going to be something that is going to turn a lot of people off. It's actually something I enjoyed. It does not follow the same cookie cutter story setup that everything else does. This actually does feel like it has grander relevance and repercussions. Like, again, if what was his name? Tiamat? Tiamat's born, which is the celestial that's being born in Earth. Earth's destroyed. Like that's a part of the process. It comes from out of the
comics. Like that, like, even the dude from Scream Crush, he was saying, he's like, this is part of the comics that they would basically use the Eternals, get the humans, and then poof, baby, you know, celestial, birth more shits and going on. So yeah.
Right. So I really enjoyed them getting away from the cookie cutter style of Marvel movie.
Because you know they could have had so many more jokes with this shit so bad.
Well, it's not even just the lack of jokes. It's just they didn't go with like the enemy that they're fighting being just a carbon copy of them.
Right.
Like they were trying to kill a celestial who is basically a god.
A god. Right. Well, the collector named it perfectly. He said these are beings that they can't hardly die.
Right.
So.
And just the whole setup of the movie again, I thought was done really well. Special effects was lacking. Not terrible. It's not like Nightmare on Elm Street remake terrible. But it's not Shang-Chi good.
Yeah.
Like the special effects were just okay.
It's a meh.
They were neither here nor there.
Right.
I mean, over and above all, they're good. They're just not 2 years worth good. Like you got again
for what it was worth.
You guys had like 2 years to work on this shit.
Legit, ain't that a bitch? Legit 2 years.
Fight scenes were solid. Acting was solid.
I thought the effects were like up. I feel like the movie probably would have been like 10 times. It probably would have been 10 times better, but you know,
right?
What it is. What can you do?
Right.
You're not in the fucking room with these people, so.
Right.
So.
Over and above all, I'm gonna give the movie an 8 out of 10.
I'll give it a 7.
A 7?
Yeah, I give it a 7.
So what that means, ladies and gentlemen,
we're gonna drop. I'm just kidding now.
What that means is, it is time to tier what we think of this movie. Let's switch screens.
Hello.
All right, so we're over here in the tier maker screen. The first thing you are going to notice is we dropped Black Widow a tier. Yeah, there's a reason. Here's the thing: Black Widow was good, but looking at this, it's not as good as like Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Shang-Chi.
Right.
It's not bad. It's kind of in that middle range.
Yeah.
However, so you gave it a
7.
A 7. I gave it an 8. So that averages out to an 8.
8. Should be an 8, right?
Which means, ladies and gentlemen, Eternals is getting pushed into A tier.
Right.
Up there with Shang-Chi, Guardians, Ant-Man, Eternals. Again, still not a perfect movie. It's not quite Spider-Man 2.
Hell no.
But still a very solid outing. I know there's going to be some people that disagree with this. Again, I think it is a very solid movie.
Yeah,
I think it's one everyone should see whenever they get a chance to. I'm not saying it's a must go to theaters to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't say theaters. This is probably I wouldn't say theaters, bro. No.
I mean 50-cent theaters maybe no.
The back of your mom's garage. That's it. Just bootleg.
No, but it's a solid movie. It's again, it's worth seeing. It's going to help push. And again, I think another thing that kind of killed it for me were the post-credit scenes that didn't get me excited. Even knowing that that's Blade, like we already know Blade's coming.
Like we know Blade is coming. We know all the other
it's
shit's
like,
coming.
And it's like that again. That's something Venom Let There Be Carnage like wowed me with was their post-credit scene because none of us were expecting Venom to be like, hey, guess what? I'm in the MCU, bitches.
Right. Which is weird. Usually they go out of the MCU, but he's coming into the MCU.
Right. So that was a huge surprise. Whereas this is just like, okay, natural progression.
And that's fine.
This is where it's going.
And I think I said it before. I said before we watched the movie, as long as it pushes the story, I'm going to be all right.
Now, you remember he was creating those bracelets for everybody.
Yeah.
Why do I get this feeling that they're the same people that created the tech of the bracelets for Shang-Chi?
For Shang-Chi, the 10 rings?
Because they looked a lot like the same bracelets.
Right, just a little more smaller.
More techy.
More condensed to the arm. Or, more techy and whatnot.
Right.
Well,
I don't know. We'll see.
They said they've been around for so many goddamn years out here, so it's like maybe they bumped into the dude, the 10 ring guy. Which that would have been interesting seeing that. I wouldn't mind. Even though that would have been a post credit that no one really cared about, that would have been interesting to see that. Because it's like, hey, you met him too.
Right.
But I'm never in progression of the story, so.
Right. But yeah, so overall, good movie. Go see it at some point. And yeah. I guess that's going to do it for this episode. This is, again, another special episode like we usually do. We're going to probably release this today, today being Saturday or tomorrow being Sunday. And then our normal X-Men News podcast will be Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our comics podcast coming out Thursday.
And then our next special thing will be until Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home's the last one of the year, y'all. But it comes out just after my birthday.
Your birthday. Send this man birthday wishes. Throw a cake in his face.
Not yet. It's not even December. Calm down.
Get there soon, bro. Get there soon. That'll be before you know it.
But yeah, super stoked for Spider-Man for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
If this movie does not end up in S tier, do you know how pissed I'm going
Bro,
to be?
I would probably stop watching more. No, let me stop. That probably might be a hint right there. Let me dude, because it could bomb. What if it bombs? Dude, that'd be the funniest shit.
I don't think it will.
No, it better not. It fucking better not, sir.
All right. So with that being said, guys, I think we are done here. Again, Eternals went to A rank, and yeah, that's it. So with that being said, we'll see y'all later this week.
Excelsior.
Or next week, depending on when you watch. I don't know. Excelsior. Bye, guys.
Yep, Excelsior. Yep, I said it right. He I don't know what the fuck he said.
I said Excelsior.
He said Excelsior.
Excelsior.
He said Excel and Soar. He's going to put it together.
Excelsior.